Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news for Palantir Technologies as it has officially joined the S&P 500. Congratulations to all of the bulls, to Palantir, and the investors that have been waiting for this moment to happen for a long time. We're going to be talking about what does this mean for Palantir's future now that it's officially going to be included on this list, what other stocks join the S&P 500, and which ones left. Also, we're going to be talking about Palantir's price action, what we could see in terms of the bullish run. We talked about this in yesterday's video, especially in the short term. Palantir has really popped up over nearly 8% in the after hours, and we could be seeing a continuation of this starting on Monday. We're also going to be talking about the jobs report that has affected the market, and also NVIDIA that is correlating with the expectations that could be happening here in the future. If you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now pop it up here. You can see Palantir closes on the market at 30.33. We see volume more kind of popping up here on its average at about 51 million. You see the pop up here where Palantir actually is right now is up here at its high 52-week resistance point. That's at 32.71 and basically at this 33 level. We could possibly be seeing a FOMO type event that could trickle into Monday due to this news. And looking specifically here, what we see is that Palantir joins the S&P 500 along with Dell Technologies and Erie Indemnity. Now, they're joining it before the open of Monday, September 23rd. This is the announcement that occurred today. The actual rebalance, when it will actually be included, and we will see kind of the price action swings in terms of volatility, that's going to be happening September 23rd. Now, what stocks are coming out of the S&P 500? That is going to be American Airlines, Etsy, and Bio-Rad Laboratories. Now, incoming S&P 500, what we've typically seen with stocks that do join this index is a lot of passive buying pressure. And we talked about this in yesterday's video with the anticipation and prediction if this happened. And that is because we're seeing a lot of investors that are starting to pool their money into ETFs. We're seeing actually live data that is proving this. And with that being said, yeah, that is causing a lot of basically subtle buying pressure in the background. People that aren't even invested in Palantir or don't even possibly know what it's about, but just buying ETFs that include it, buying ETFs that track the S&P 500, other major types of ETFs. This can cause up to about a 5 to a 7% increase in the stock's value in the short term. We've seen this historically just from stocks that have entered the S&P 500, along with the momentum that we're seeing and Palantir being one of the biggest competitors in the AI software industry. We could see a short-term bull run here that pushes PLTR to new 52-week highs. Now, we've seen other tech companies involved with AI. We've seen Supermicro, CrowdStrike joining, and people are wondering when was it going to be for PLTR. Even considering the amount of positive quarters that they've had and for the amount of quarters that they've actually fulfilled the criteria to get included. Now, we know that Alex Karp has really gained a lot of popularity here, talking about patriotism, working with the government, and especially with those governmental contracts that have still been lucrative and doing very well. Joining the S&P 500, it says here, Karp mentions that his interest in profitability is for obvious reasons, but it's also much different than that. To be in a stronger position as it becomes clear and why they qualify for the participation in the S&P 500. Not just because they're doing well in terms of business, in terms of balance sheet, in terms of their commercial and governmental contracts growth and customer growth, but the reason behind what's their mission, what's the prosperity looking like for PLTR. That's why he thinks they should be included. And we saw that come to light today. Now, we've seen Dell that's been profitable for even longer than Palantir since every quarter since 2019. And we see here the stock jump over 90% in 2023. So another stock that has been waiting a long time to join the S&P 500. It's great to see here that we're going to possibly see even more institutional investment that will start coming in just due to the fact And this also will help Palantir push more into those top headlines. Now, let's talk about the market and what specifically happened today. We have the August jobs report that was released, and this came in at numbers that were decently far less than what was expected. We're going to be talking about how this has an impact on the economy. Nonetheless, you have the August numbers come in at the numbers of 142,000. You have the unemployment rate tick down to 4.2%, but that's not the real unemployment rate. We'll mention here in a second. However, the 142,000 jobs that were added, that was below the 161 estimate in terms of the consensus forecast. However, we see the unemployment rate that ticked down 0.1%. However, the real unemployment rate edged up to 7.9%, its highest reading since October of 2021. We're seeing slightly fewer jobs that are being created than expected, reflecting a slowing labor market in terms of hiring. What this is showing is that we're furthering the pressure on the economy that is showing signs of cooling, which is basically clearing the way for the Fed to lower those interest rates this month. Now, the question is not anymore, basically, it's almost 100% probability that's priced in, are they going to cut rates? Now it's about how much. We're expecting a 25 basis point cut. However, there's now about a 50% probability, and some could even argue that it might be even a little bit higher, that we could see up to a 50 basis point cut. This could signal different changes and hopefully continuing on with the mission of a soft landing. A lot of people criticize, is the soft landing too late, and are we at the brink of a recession? Now, we're talking about two different things here because we're talking about very bullish things for PLTR. However, in terms of the general economy in the market right now, we're seeing signs of cooling down. S&P 500 down 2%, NASDAQ down 2.5%. One of the big leaders on bringing down the broader market today was NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is getting hit and getting hit hard. Specifically, the stock is trading right now at a pretty critical support level. That's at $100, $102.83. Not too far away from the support level that needs to hold. If it falls beneath that, I think we could see NVIDIA that continues to possibly free fall, and that would also bring a lot of red to the broader market just with the weight that it has on these major indexes. Now, the stock is getting basically hit and is correlating and is losing ground in conjunction with the underwhelming jobs report. I agree with that basically 100%. We're not seeing a lot of changes within NVIDIA specifically. We have, of course, the DOJ talking about the investigation, blah, blah, blah. You see all the different political things that are happening. But the disappointing job numbers, I think, are the culprit for dragging NVIDIA down right now. And I agree with that. So the question lies, what's going to be happening to Palantir, right? Because Palantir shows good signs of bullishness today. I think in the short term, we're going to see a run up. However, depending on how the market's going to operate in terms of the first interest rate cuts that come September, we could see more volatility. So risk assessment, very important during these times. Make sure you're always doing your own research, not just listening to some guy on YouTube. Get all the notes you need. Peace out. Take care. Congratulations to PLTR for joining the S&P 500. Have a wonderful night.